Yo, what is going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video. Hello, if this is the first time finding the channel. That was a funny hello, but we're going to roll with it. It's a bit windy here as well today. The beard's looking a bit bushy. I'm due a trim, to be honest, but you're here for the vintage toys. It doesn't matter. Can I tell you what? Another week has rolled by since filming the videos. I'm feeling even better, which is an amazing, amazing feeling. I got that spark, that charisma back. Anyway, vintage toys, let's flip this around and let's check them out. So, first impressions, I know you've seen it on the thumbnail, but come on, look at this. It mostly consists of Matchbox models, or should I say earlier Leslie models, but there is some stunning examples in here. It is getting so hard just to find that type of Matchbox in good, clean, original condition. And the gentleman I purchased these off was 76, I believe, and his wife was 72, and he had it up the ladder, getting these down out of the attic where they've been for many, many years. It was just time to let them go. He's followed me for a number of years, so he, trusts me to find new homes for these. And as I always say, it's nice to be a custodian of them. Just, send them off over the world and put them in great collections. And the Matchbox garage in the back, right? I know we'll get to it, but he never actually opened it. It's mint in the box. It's as new. It is stunning. So, like always, I give him a very, very fair price. So I got to try and sell these at a very fair price, but, still making a bit of profit just to move them on to go buy the next collection. Oh, yeah, there's a budgie gift set over here too. Anyway, let's get in. Let's go for the front row because there's some nice loose models. The two little, what are they, Morris Oxfords or the early miners? They try on Minic they are, though, aren't they? The plastic sometimes does distort a little bit, as it has with the red one more so. But, you could probably manipulate that and click it back in, just like I did. If only I did that before the video, I wouldn't have had to mention it, eh? But that's all right. The Macy Ferguson sitting down here as well. Yeah, I like it because it's got the rear attachment on there with the milk chins. Very cool. You can see he played with these Corgis a little bit more than what he did with some of these Matchbox. I'm guessing that's where the bit of an age difference might have been. I don't know. Maybe what he preferred. No, because actually they're earlier than these. Ignore me. That was a random thought. But we got the Bedford. We got the Mini. Always like that blue one with a little yellow interior. The Renault Fluoride. This is beautiful as well. I always love the two-tone on these Austins. Stunning. This Cambridge. Look at that. I think that's just a great model. You'll also notice he's had like the accessory pack stickers from back in the day. So he's put tax discs on the cars. He's put number plates on the cars. Now, I know you could remove these and they will clean up. But I'm going to sell them as is. Because at the end of the day, he did it. They've been on here for like 50, 60 years. Let's just leave them as they are. And you can have the opportunity if you want to do that yourself. The Citroen is always nice in that colour there too as well. Really, really nice example. That was a little ka-ching in the background. It means I sold something on eBay. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. The Fiat is always beautiful. And always one of my features I love for these are the rear blinds that you can see there. I think it's just great. Just reminds you of like your nan's blinds back in the day, doesn't it? What's the right operation blinds? I can't remember what they're called, but she used to shout at me, my gran did. So I used to stick my hands in them and put the metal slots up and down to peek through. Often, because she lived on a main road, looking at cars going up and down the street. Car mad from a young age. The RF is very nice. I'm selling it with the brick load on the back as well, the Marston bricks. That's very nice. And then the 59 Chevy Impala. You already all know this is one of my favorite castings, and also how much I would love to own the real car. I'm sorry, it would be on hydraulics, it would be on 100-spoke wire wheels, and I would be bouncing it down the road. But 59, great cars. Anyway, as we dip back then, let's start with some of these Matchbox models. The refreshment truck there, it is stunning. I haven't overly cleaned any of these models yet either. So as you can see, look at the shine on them. Do you know what? The Mini in the background is already calling my name as well, but we'll get to that. The refreshment mobile canteen, of course, that flips down. Really nice example. No casting fatigue, no problems. Then you've got the little Ford Singer sewing machine van here. Just put it in focus for you. Look at the condition. I'm so hyped and excited over these. Obviously, I get offered a lot of stuff. Well, as you've seen in the previous video, there's over 1,500 things listed on eBay and more things to do. But I can't remember the last time I had a collection of Matchbox of this era. You get the 60s stuff, you get the super fast, but these earlier ones, you just don't. Not as often on the little grey wheels, as you would say. Hey, talking about Chevy Impalas. Look at those rear fins. Tow bar on it too. Blue base. These are stunning. Do you know as well, I need to educate myself a little bit more with Matchbox. I know there's loads of like rare versions and different base colors and means different things. But yeah, I'm a Corgi and Dinky man overall. I love Matchbox, don't get me wrong, got a lot of Matchbox myself too. But the variants, sometimes I get surprised over it. But the Ford station wagon, we'll notice that there's actually two of them here. There's one here and there's one there. I actually think that one is slightly better because this one looks like it's got a bit of a factory mark on that rear quarter there. Nothing, you know, nothing too scary or whatever. Red base, stunning example. Is that one going to be a red base too? Yes, it is. But look, you can see the variants in the boxes. Just pick that up gently. See what I mean? Just remember to put the right cars in the right place. So we've got different type of boxes, which is cool. So the accessory pack number 1, the SO. I love that. What a stunning model. That's something I can always remember. One of the first big collections that I ever purchased, like all those years ago. Well, I'll save that story for another day, right? Because I want to do a video on it. Because so many of you have said, boss, how did you get started doing this? You know, and I'm going to sit there and actually do it and chat about it for you. But I can remember there was hundreds and hundreds of loose. And the SO was one of the models that was in there. And it's actually one of the ones I kept from the collection. It was loose, but I still got it loose. I also have it boxed myself. But I think that's lovely with the attendant on the side there. Just screams a different time, doesn't it? And you think, put that Ford next to that as a little diorama, if you like, then yeah, you're on to a good one, aren't you? Anyway, the caravan trailer here. Love this. The on-tow decal still there and a number plate also applied over it. But stunning. The Bluebird Dauphine caravan. Yeah, look at that with a door on it too. I'm so excited. You probably tell back home, can't you, how excited I am. I don't even fake things for reactions, right? I am who I am, if you know what I mean. And yeah, if I'm excited over something, then you can see it. Also, ignore my hand. I was exploring abandoned buildings this weekend, and I got ripped to shreds going through a property, but it was worth it, right? Because it's been abandoned for over 40 years. But there was a derelict larder, a yellow estate in the garage, and the garage was collapsed. But the stingy nettles and the thorns you had to get to it, yeah, you might be worth watching that video in a couple of weeks' time. So if you're wondering why I'm scratched, that's why. Anyway, let's get into this. Look at this, the two-tone colours on this Vauxhall, the old Cresta here. This is an era for me with cars with art. It's like, you know, these GM cars are very inspired to like the American ones, the Chevys and stuff, aren't they? So this was the next best thing we had in Britain, I want to say. But really nice example. Stunning, I like that. Next to it, you've got the Lambretta and the sidecar there. Again, another model. I also like that it's got 2 different registrations on the front there. So, you know, if you happen to do a bit of speeding in your Lambretta and it went past the camera, I know they didn't exist back then, but you've got a 50-50 choice of which number plate they're going to go for, innit? So you've got some empty boxes here as well. Always good news, empty boxes oversell. I know so many of you say to me about empty boxes. A lot of the time, I tend to keep them until a car comes along so I can marry them up. But in this instance, I'm just going to sell them. So eBay store, keep an eye. The RAF pressure refueler. Of course, Dinky did a version of this too. This little Lesney one is beautiful though. Lovely example. It's in near mint condition in all fairness, isn't it? Decal still on top. That's had very little use. Then the Foden sugar container. Look at the decal condition there. It is very nice. I haven't even attempted to clean this. This is how it is. 1 or 2 minor marks. Nothing major. Look how clean those axles are. Wow. He said his mum used to just, I'm sure he said like, every weekend or something like that. She used to come home with one of these Matchbox models for him. So the Matchbox was actually the hardest thing for him to part with in the collection, more so than like the Corgis and Dinkies. Hey, we had another ka-ching, that's good news. Brilliant. We need it, to be honest with you. The amount of money we're spending on collections at the minute, I need to try and recuperate as much as I can, ready for the next ones. But anyway, I don't like talking about money when I do these videos because, yeah, you know, I like to keep it separate at the end of the day. So I was going to say, we've got a bit of dust here. We'll have to get rid of that. This Pontiac, the convertible. Look at that. That is stunning. 1 or 2 little nicks. It's been played with a little bit more. Dust on those axles. That's all right. We've cleaned that up a little bit. Perfect. And you think you could sit there, you could tow that with a caravan. If you wanted to be bougie, you could tow the mobile canteen with it. What a sight that would look on British roads. Then we got the Bedford tipper here. Lovely example. Black wheels on this one. Does it still tip? Yes, it does. Nice and easy too. Yeah, that's beautiful. Love that. And then the evening news van. This is also one of the ones I can initially remember from when I first started out. Same story as the SO there, and I still have it. First with the news. That is beautiful. I love this model. Ah, the decals are in such good condition. This is literally a Matchbox treasure trove. Maybe I'll call the video title that. Who knows? We've already had a little look at the Ford, so we'll go on. So the sports boat and trailer. Stunning example. Oh, that's just the door. We're all right, though. Do you know, they're always a nightmare, aren't they, to line up with the trailer? You've got to have two hands for it. So, yeah, apologies. But it's got the rear outboard motor still on there. So let's just put that down with it carefully. Next to that, then, we've got the Pickford's removal van. Stunning example. Grey wheels again. Yep, got the rear door, slides up and down. Oh, look at that. This is quality, if I'm honest. Some of these Matchbox models are quality. Then we've got this little truck here as well, a little ERF, the Ever Ready. Again, look at the decal condition if he wants to focus. He's thinking about it, isn't it? That's all right. It's a Monday when I'm filming this, so Monday Blues we'll call it. Beautiful indeed. Then we've got the Routemaster bus. Again, grey wheels. The Visco static. I can't get over the condition on these models. Like, that is near mint. Little rub mark from being on the box, which will probably clean off. Look at that. Beautiful. Then we've got the long distance coach. They do different colour greens of this. This is definitely a darker green to what you might find. London to Glasgow. Be a long old drive on one of these, I'd imagine, wouldn't it? But yeah, stunning. And I said, it's up to you. If you want to remove these number plates, you can. But out of the charm of the original owner, I'm keeping with them. Then you've got the little trailer here, the transporter. Good condition again, to be honest. One or two little marks. That will probably clean off there with a bit of, yeah, it's even coming off just with my nail. Look. So a little wet wipe on there. That will come off. Beautiful. Tow hook is also in good condition. Look at the axles. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Then we've got the Cooper Jarrett. We've got a shout out to Chicago on this, haven't we? I spend a bit of time in the Midwest with my brother Max, so I relate to that kind of area. So lovely. Then we've got the 26 Morris here. The Cowley. Yes, dear, is not as valuable as them, but, you know, still a lovely example. That actually does pop out. There you go. If you can have that rear seat in. Can you imagine popping the kids in the back going for a drive? Like, I know. Just makes you think, doesn't it? Loose little Dinky here. That's not bad. It's not going to be a lot of money, but it's nice. Then we've got the Heineken, depending on how you would like to say it. Tomatoes, tomatoes, all of that. The economy car. Lovely example again with the accessory stickers, which I am a fan of. I adore it, to be honest. Lovely clean base, great tires. Beautiful example. One of my personal favorite things here is the competition Morris Mini Cooper. Look at the condition on that. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Little hair on the back there. There we go. That's gone. To think these have been boxed away like 50 years or more. It is, yeah. It's brilliant. Really, really is brilliant. Next to that, we've got the 53 Macy Ferguson. We already had a look at another Macy down here, I know. But you can see it's got the front tractor shovel on it here. Yeah, all works. It all lines up. It's beautiful. Bit of playwear on it, but overall, nice example. Then, next to that, we have the Jaguar Fire Car, which has the accessory pack hub stickers on there, which I adore. Looks great. Really nice fire vehicle. Love that. God, could you imagine like what's he called? Like not the lieutenant, but he'd be the boss of the station, wouldn't he? He'd be going out with this, wouldn't he? Ahead of the fire trucks. But I think, like, well, going back to the 90s, I remember my local fire station having a Fiesta. So in the 60s or whatever, rolling around in the fire service Jag. Brilliant. Yeah, captain, would he be the captain? I don't know. Chief, one of them. 59 Impala in blue. This one's a little bit of a shame though, because well, these cars have been up the attic, but thankfully this is the only one it has affected. You can see we've got a little bit of paint fatigue, so it's flicking off a little bit. The casting is strong. It is literally the paint. So yeah, bit of a shame. You could either separate the box, or what I'll probably do is just price this cheap enough that it is literally a box I'm selling. You get a free model round about that anyway. Macy tractor trailer next to it, a little bit of playwear, but it is nice. The Bedford Carramore low loader, again, few chips, but it is nice. Then we got the little electric articulated lorry. Some play with on the Dinkies. You definitely played with the Dinkies more than anything else. The Matchbox series service station, which is mint in the box. You'll have to go and have a little look on eBay or Facebook when the pictures of that are actually out. Next to it then, the 982 Bedford. This is stunning. I mean, stunning. I already got another one on eBay at the minute, which is a slightly different colour. But look at the condition on this. Wow. Stunning. You can even see, look, where which bit of the tyre has been just in the box. It's not even that flat. Minor flat spot. But the colours on that are so crisp. The box is so nice. And it's the 982 version, which comes with the ramp, which the ramp is still in his little box too. Then you've got the 401 forklift. Charming little model. I ain't against them, to be honest with you. I like them. They're just one of those ones when I think of 50s Dinky toys, I think of that in the top of my head. The gift set 11, the ERF here, towing both sets, which are really nice. The Matchbox were actually with it, but he bought them in more like later years. And there's a couple of, well, there's about another 3 large boxes full of stuff from like the 80s and 90s and stuff. He said he didn't even know why he bought them, but he bought them. So that happened. Budgie gift set. You're going to have to go and have a little look on eBay and Facebook for that too. Some other loose ones that were here. This is nice, man. Little Scalex. Austin Healy. Bit of pitting on there. But overall, nice example. Still operates. Like the Jeep is cool. Always like that model. Just need to clean some of these up. That's had a painted rear back put on it. Yeah, these are just cheap models, but you know, still nice. And over here, things that I can't sell on eBay because eBay is like, oh my goodness, you can't be selling that. It could be real, but how nice is that? Yeah, I love that. So Facebook or Toy Fair is where that's going to be. I might be able to get away with that. Look at the artwork on that though. Wow. I know I've seen it, but I forgot how nice it was. The Berwick toy, I just like the Wild West era. I would have loved to have just seen that, the old towns like that back in the day. Arizona Hostess set. That's beautiful, isn't it? Probably get away with putting that on eBay. But yeah, this, absolutely not. I've never had one before, but I think it is wonderful. Boys and girls, this is stunning. So yes, what do we think of the collection in front of me? I'm hyped and excited over it. As I said, I've been out exploring 3 days this week. I'm trying not to push myself too much. It did exhaust me a little bit, but I literally slept for like 13 and a half hours last night. Body must have needed it. So I'm listening to the body, if you know where I'm coming from. But I'm excited now to go and take photographs of these, get these listed on eBay. But I've done a lot of driving right over the last couple of days because obviously abandoned buildings, but 1,000 miles in all honesty. But I thought to myself, like, I'm 30, what am I, 34 now? I had to think about that. Going back to when I was like starting this business, when I was still in school, selling my mum's eBay account before it became Jones Vintage World and registered as a business 15 years ago. 16, 17, 18-year-old me would be very proud of where I am now. And I think I needed that little chat to myself just to remind myself, yes, it's stressful. Yes, a lot has happened this year. Yes, I thought I was on the way out a couple of weeks ago. Well, about a month ago now, almost, not far off. But look at where we are. Look at all the support from all of you back home. Look at everyone that interacts and supports me and purchases things off me and just gives nice, kind words. It honestly means more than you will ever know. And yeah, I was proud of myself from where I've come to where we are now. And hopefully I can have the same talk another 15 years down the line and be like, look, boss, you're doing well. But yeah, thank you. Rambling with friends is what I am. Until next time, boys and girls, stay tuned for many more videos coming soon. I'm going to be there. Until next time, make sure you are too. Happy collecting.